So a couple of weeks ago, you guys saw me and my friend Zeph fixing this Honda Insight. It had been sitting for 3 years and it wasn't running, and we got it running again. And running fairly well for what it is, honestly. And in the short time that we had with it, I kind of fell in love with this car, so I bought it, and here it is. And since the last video, there are a few things that we got done to it. The most obvious thing is it has a window now, sort of. Some very thin plastic just kind of stretched over the window and taped in. Zeph did a bit of PDR work so that this isn't completely caved in anymore. I think it's a bit beyond paintless though. The paint has certainly come off in a few places. And then we found some HVAC strap lying around, and we used that to make a door. So now the Insight has a usable door. I am obviously going to try to find an actual replacement door for this. I did pull the door panel off so that we could get to the inside of the door cavity, and just, in preparation for getting a new door. But it is still absolutely filthy in here. And then up front, a couple more things have been done. So you may have noticed in the last video that when this car was sitting, we had it hooked up to a jump pack of sorts. Now there's no more jump pack, but the 12-volt battery was dead. So under there is actually a motorcycle battery, specifically the battery that was in the Ducati is now in here. Not the new one that I got, but the old one that was in the Ducati when I got it, that was too small and couldn't consistently turn over the Ducati. That's right, couldn't make that work, does make this work. And the reason for that is simple. All that battery has to do is power up the ECU and the inverter electronics so that the big inverter can make the big battery start the car using the actual motor generator set. So that battery hardly has to have any cold cranking amps at all. So I just ended up using some, there's stereo wire basically, just crimped to some eyelets, and then there's the head off of the mallet that broke and hit Roberto in the face, making sure the battery doesn't wiggle around. It's actually fairly secure and works rather well. The only other thing that's been done is I went to go get some delicious Wendy's this morning, and I noticed that the wipers were complete trash, so nice new wipers. So moving back inside, it's fairly obvious that this car has been open to the elements. There is, like I said, organic seat cover and whatnot, and the majesty of the digital dash is somewhat hampered by the thick layer of dust that's on it. So I bought some shop towels, and I'm gonna see what I can do about this absolute freaking disaster. Here we go. Well, it's certainly not perfect, but it's definitely a decent improvement. Now the car is actually usable. I'm going to drive it to work tomorrow, and we'll see how things go. I think anything much beyond what I've done here is probably going to be the work of an actual detailing professional, which I am definitely not. I just have some Meguiar's interior detailer and a dream at this point. Actual shampoo and cleaning supplies would go a long way. Some 808 aerospace protectant on the dashboard especially to help kind of restore it. The finish isn't exactly great. Quick interior detailer isn't really the sauce that you want to use for this per se, but it did all right. I mean, at least everything doesn't feel like it's actively in a sandstorm anymore, so that's good enough. I'm not entirely sure what to do about this carpet on the sides. I'm sure some sort of shampoo and extractor will need to be used, and I have no idea how people get down into these vents, but hey, it's an experience. It's all an experience. I'm just real happy with how well this car is starting to clean up already. I love these seats, this sort of mesh here. It's not really quite a fabric. It's more like something you'd find in like some sort of active wear. There we go. I think I've made a very compelling argument for why I should absolutely never ever detail anyone else's car. Fortunately, I think it's pretty much usable at this point. Here in the coming weeks, I'm going to go visit someone who actually knows what they're doing with detail and get this thing fixed up right as soon as I get a new door. That needs to happen first. Then I can put the interior back together, get it detailed, and actually start using this thing as transportation instead of just as a really pretty centerpiece for my garage. Also, an incredibly light centerpiece. Look at this, just like 2 fingers. Away it goes. Where's it going? No one knows. It's just going away. It's away. Goodbye. Say goodbye to the Insight. It's going off. 2 fingers. Toodles. Thanks for watching.